Good morning. As the sun rises over military bases across the country, thousands of men and women in uniform are already hard at work, standing watch and preparing for the day ahead. Across the nation, a troubling reality is unfolding for those who protect us. 1.3 million active duty U.S. military members are now working without pay. These are the individuals who have sworn to defend our freedoms, who answer the call of duty no matter the hour or the hardship. This is not a furlough. They're still on duty, still expected to perform at the highest level, but their paychecks have stopped due to a government shutdown that began October 1st. The shutdown has frozen the flow of pay, leaving our service members in a state of uncertainty. The promise to support our troops and their families feels broken. For many, the military is not just a job, it's a way of life, one that involves sacrifice, not only from the service member, but from their loved ones as well. Imagine a Marine on post or an Air Force pilot prepping for a mission, now forced to worry about rent and groceries. These are not abstract concerns. These are real, everyday struggles that our military families are now facing. This isn't just a headline, it's a crisis affecting the financial stability and morale of our national defense. When those who defend us are distracted by personal financial stress, it impacts their readiness and focus. The impact ripples through families and communities, especially as the first missed paycheck looms on October 15th. Spouses are left to juggle bills, children sense the anxiety at home, and entire communities rally to provide support where they can. Our heroes have bills to pay, just like everyone else, and this shutdown exposes a vulnerability not on the battlefield, but at home. The stress of unpaid bills, the uncertainty of how to provide for their families, weighs heavily on those who already carry so much responsibility. Across the country, communities are stepping up to help. Local businesses are offering discounts, volunteers are delivering groceries, and children are making thank you cards to show their support. But these gestures, while meaningful, cannot replace the security of a steady paycheck. The question remains, how can we ask so much of them while providing so little certainty in return? As the days pass and the shutdown continues, the burden grows heavier. Our service members deserve better. They deserve the peace of mind that comes from knowing their country stands behind them, not just in words, but in action. Why aren't our troops being paid? It's a question that echoes through military bases and family homes across the country every time the government faces a shutdown. For many Americans, the idea of a government shutdown can seem abstract, something that happens in Washington, far removed from daily life. But for service members and their families, the impact is immediate and deeply personal. So, what exactly is a government shutdown? It starts with the basics. The U.S. government needs a budget to operate. Just like any household or business, the government can't function without money to pay its bills, employees, and obligations. Each year, Congress is responsible for passing a series of spending bills that fund everything from national parks and scientific research to the military and social services. These bills determine how taxpayer dollars are allocated, and they must be approved before the government's new fiscal year begins. If lawmakers can't reach an agreement by October 1st, the start of the federal fiscal year, the government literally runs out of money to spend. That's when a shutdown is triggered, and the effects ripple outward. During a shutdown, non-essential federal employees are furloughed, meaning they're sent home without pay. But essential workers, like air traffic controllers, border agents, and yes, the military, are required to keep working, even though their paychecks are put on hold. Legally, the government can't pay these workers until Congress passes a new funding bill. Paychecks are delayed, and there's no guarantee of when the money will come through. For many, this creates a stressful limbo. While Congress usually promises back pay once the shutdown ends, that's little comfort to families facing rent, groceries, and utility bills right now. The uncertainty can be overwhelming, especially for those living paycheck to paycheck. For military families, an IOU from Congress doesn't fill the fridge or pay for gas to get to work. Many are forced to dip into savings, take out loans, or rely on food banks just to get by. Community organizations and charities often step in to help, but the strain is real, and the anxiety grows. With each day, the shutdown drags on. In past shutdowns, Congress has sometimes acted quickly to pass emergency bills, ensuring the military gets paid, recognizing the unique sacrifices service members make. But this time, no such bill has made it through. Political gridlock has left the fate of military pay in limbo, with no clear end in sight. The Pay Our Troops Act, which would guarantee pay for service members during a shutdown, is stalled in Congress. As politicians argue over spending priorities, those in uniform are left waiting and wondering. Service members continue to uphold their oath, standing ready to defend the nation, even as their own financial security is threatened by political stalemate. The stress and uncertainty are enormous for those already sacrificing so much. For military families, a government shutdown isn't just a political event, it's a personal crisis that tests their resilience and resolve. How did we get here? The shutdown is the result of a political standoff in Congress over federal spending. Lawmakers couldn't agree on a budget or even a short-term fix before the deadline. The fight is over deep differences: spending cuts, border security, and aid to allies. While both parties claim to support the troops, their inaction tells a different story. The Department of Defense can't legally pay its personnel, and even a simple bill to fund military pay is stuck in gridlock. Until leaders bridge their divides, military families bear the brunt of this dysfunction. Behind the numbers are real people: 1.3 million active-duty service members now working without pay. Add reservists, civilian employees, and contractors, and nearly 2 million are affected. Essential civilian workers must also report without pay. Others are furloughed. The shutdown costs the U.S. economy about $400 million a day in lost compensation, hurting local businesses near bases. The true cost is measured in morale, family stability, and trust in government. When a soldier has to call home for rent money, it chips away at their pride and security. These are the people who volunteer to face our nation's enemies. They shouldn't face a crisis created at home. Our political dysfunction is their financial emergency. For military families, the shutdown is an immediate crisis. Many live on tight budgets, and missing a paycheck can mean missed rent, late fees, and tough choices between groceries and bills. Even before the shutdown, 1 in 5 military families reported food insecurity. Now, the pay freeze pushes many into genuine crisis. The emotional toll is just as real. Spouses must stretch non-existent funds, parents explain cutbacks to kids, and relationships are strained. Our military families should be focused on supporting their loved ones, not worrying about how to keep the lights on. In the face of government inaction, organizations are stepping up to help military families. Banks like Navy Federal and USAA are offering no-interest payroll advance loans to cover essential expenses. Service members should contact their bank or credit union to check eligibility. Nonprofits like the Navy Marine Corps Relief Society and Army Emergency Relief are providing grants and interest-free loans for basic needs. Local food pantries and community groups are also mobilizing. Reach out to your base's Family Support Center or unit leadership for resources. While it's outrageous these measures are needed, the swift response offers a glimmer of hope. While military families struggle, Washington is locked in political posturing. The White House and Congress blame each other, but neither has resolved the crisis. The Pay Our Troops Act remains stalled, a stark contrast to previous shutdowns, when military pay was quickly restored. Politicians praise the troops in statements, but their inaction leaves families unpaid. For those facing mounting bills, words ring hollow. Until paychecks resume, political pronouncements offer little comfort. Despite the chaos, the U.S. military remains on duty, missions continue, and national security is not on hold. Essential medical and dental care for active duty personnel continues, and TRICARE health insurance is unaffected. However, some non-essential services are disrupted, elective procedures postponed, base services reduced, and community events canceled. Even small disruptions, like a canceled air show, impact morale and quality of life. On-base services are a cornerstone for families, and their loss is felt deeply. Our troops are being asked to do more with less pay, fewer services, and more stress. Yet they continue to serve with professionalism. The disruption is a stark reminder of the cost of political gridlock. This is a difficult time for our military community, but there is hope. Even in moments of uncertainty, the strength and resilience of our service members and their families shine through. Facing financial stress, uncertainty about pay, and the emotional toll of a government shutdown can feel overwhelming, but you are not alone in this journey. Every shutdown ends. Congress will eventually restore funding and back pay. History has shown that while these periods are challenging, they are temporary. It's important to remember that the government has always come through with back pay for our military, and this time will be no different. Until then, resilience and community are key. Lean on each other, share your experiences, and know that your fellow service members and families are facing similar challenges. Together, you can weather this storm. Be proactive. Contact your bank or credit union for assistance, and reach out to military aid societies for confidential help. Many financial institutions have special programs for military families during shutdowns, so don't hesitate to ask about your options. Lean on your community, share information, check on neighbors, and connect with support groups. Sometimes just talking to someone who understands can make a world of difference. Community resources, local organizations, and online forums can provide both practical help and emotional support. Talk to creditors early. Many will work with you if you explain your situation. Open and honest communication can help you avoid late fees, penalties, or credit issues. Most creditors appreciate transparency and are willing to find solutions during tough times. Open communication can prevent a short-term problem from becoming a long-term crisis. Sit down with your family, make a plan, and discuss your priorities. Facing challenges together can strengthen your bonds and help you find creative solutions. Let's hope our leaders are listening and act with urgency. The decisions made in Washington have real impacts on families across the country, and it's vital that those in power understand the stakes. Our service members and families deserve stability and support, not just words, but action. The sacrifices you make every day should be honored with real, tangible support from the nation you serve. They stand guard for us all. It's time for the country they protect to fulfill its promise to them. Together, we can get through this, stronger, more united, and ready for whatever comes next.